Imagine this: you wake up one day and the world feels lighter, as if all the burdens of life are no longer weighing you down. The people you meet, the opportunities that come your way, even the smallest coincidences, everything seems to align perfectly. You're not chasing things come to you. You're not fighting, the world flows in your favor. How is this possible? How can you attract everything you want without trying? Today, I'll show you not only how this idea stems from ancient wisdom, but also how it can transform your reality. And in doing so, we'll walk together through the teachings of Confucius, merging them with modern practical insights. To start, let's ask a question: what does it mean to want something? Pause for a moment. Really think about it. Is wanting the same as needing? Or is it more subtle, like a whisper in your soul calling you toward a vision of your life? Confucius once said, "The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones on the surface." This might seem like a lesson in perseverance, but dig deeper. What if the act of moving the mountain doesn't require effort in the way we think? What if, instead of carrying stones, we learn to let gravity, time, and our natural path guide the stones downhill? That's what attracting means. It's not force, it's flow. Here's where it gets interesting. Have you ever noticed how trying too hard often pushes what you want further away? Think about the last time you desperately wanted someone to like you, or you worked tirelessly toward a goal that seemed just out of reach. It's almost as if the energy of wanting creates resistance. Why? Because when we focus on wanting, we focus on lack, and lack is magnetic to more lack. So how do we break free from this cycle? Confucius taught that alignment, not effort, is the key. He called this the way of Wu Wei, or effortless action. It's not about doing nothing, it's about doing only what aligns with the rhythm of life.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
Picture a river. A rock in the river doesn't chase the current, it lets the water flow around it, polishing its edges over time. The river shapes the rock, and the rock, in turn, influences the river. Harmony. Let's bring this down to our lives. If you want to attract love, for instance, don't chase it. Become love. Embody the qualities you desire in another: kindness, patience, joy, and watch as the right people naturally gravitate toward you. Or if you're yearning for success, stop grinding mindlessly. Instead, tune in to what makes you come alive. Work becomes effortless when it aligns with your passion. Here's a practical exercise for you today: do less. Yes, less. But do it with complete presence and intention. If you're eating, savor every bite. If you're walking, feel each step. This small practice will teach you to align with the moment rather than rushing through it. Confucius believed that the smallest actions done mindfully carry the greatest power. Now let's go deeper. Ask yourself, what if the things I want are already seeking me? Imagine for a moment that the universe is like an echo chamber. Every thought, every feeling sends out a vibration. When you're calm, centered, and aligned, your vibrations resonate like a clear bell, drawing similar frequencies back to you. But when you're chaotic, when you're filled with doubt or impatience, your signal becomes distorted. Confucius saw the world as a web of relationships, where each connection influences the whole. If you plant a seed in fertile soil, it grows. If you plant it in barren ground, it withers. What kind of soil are you cultivating within yourself? Are you filled with doubt and fear, or do you trust that the right opportunities will bloom in their time? Let me share a story. There was once a man who came to Confucius, desperate to gain the favor of a powerful ruler. "What must I do?" the man asked. Confucius replied, "Do nothing for him. Instead, become the kind of person he cannot ignore." The man was confused, but he followed Confucius' advice. He cultivated wisdom, generosity, and strength of character. Over time, the ruler sought him out not because the man tried, but because his presence was magnetic. This principle applies to you. Instead of trying to force the world to notice you, focus on becoming undeniable. How? By aligning with your higher self, the version of you that's not driven by fear or ego, but by purpose and authenticity. Here's another question for you. Do you really know what you want? Most of us think we do, but our desires are often shaped by societal expectations, not inner truth. Confucius emphasized self-reflection as a lifelong practice. He would ask, "What does my heart truly long for? Take a moment now. Ask yourself, not casually but deeply, what do I truly want?" You might find that the answer surprises you. Perhaps it's not wealth or fame, but freedom. Not a relationship, but connection. Not success, but significance. When you strip away the noise, your true desires emerge. And when you act in alignment with those desires, life responds. Here's the twist: once you're aligned, the things you want might not even matter anymore. Why? Because you'll feel whole, complete. And paradoxically, it's in this state of non-attachment that everything flows to you effortlessly. Let's talk practicality. You're probably wondering, how do I start? The answer is deceptively simple. Cultivate awareness. Pay attention to the energy you bring to each moment. Are you tense or open? Are you striving or flowing? Notice without judgment. This act alone will shift your vibration. Next, practice gratitude, not just for the big things, but for the smallest moments. Gratitude aligns you with abundance, signaling to the universe that you're ready to receive. And finally, trust. Trust that life is not happening to you, but for you. Every delay, every detour is part of a greater alignment. I'll leave you with this thought. What if effortlessness isn't laziness, but wisdom? What if letting go isn't giving up, but making space? What if you've had the power to attract everything you want all along, simply by being yourself? Now, I know this is a lot to take in, but stay with me. In the next part, we'll explore the hidden mechanisms behind attraction, how your mind, heart, and environment interact to create your reality. We'll delve into the teachings of Confucius on harmony and how they hold the key to unlocking a life of effortless abundance. Let's think about something strange for a moment. Why do some people, no matter what they do, always seem to end up in the right place, with the right people, at the right time? What is it about them that pulls life in their direction without them appearing to lift a finger? Is it luck? Or is there something deeper at play? The truth is, the universe operates through invisible forces, patterns that are always in motion. These forces don't respond to effort or struggle. They respond to alignment, harmony, and clarity. Confucius understood this. He taught that life, at its core, is about relationships, not just between people, but between you and everything around you, the choices you make, the energy you bring, and even the spaces you occupy. So what shapes these forces? Your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. They create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. It's like a pebble dropped into a pond. You might think it's a small act, but the ripples touch every part of the water. Let's break this down. Your thoughts are powerful not because they stay in your head, but because they influence everything else. A single doubt can create hesitation, and hesitation can close a door that was just about to open. On the other hand, a single belief can change your posture, your tone, your presence, and suddenly, the opportunities around you respond differently. It's not magic, it's physics. Confucius often spoke about balance. He believed that our inner world mirrors the outer world. If you're restless, the world seems chaotic. If you're calm, the world feels manageable. Think of a glass of muddy water. The more you stir it, the cloudier it gets. But if you let it sit, the mud settles and clarity emerges. It's the same with the forces that shape your reality. Stillness doesn't mean inaction, it means letting your natural state come through. Here's an experiment for today. Notice how people react to you, not just their words, but their energy. Do they open up, or do they seem guarded? This reflection will tell you a lot about the energy you're putting out. If people seem distant or unresponsive, it's a clue that something in you might be out of sync. Confucius also spoke about the power of the environment. Your surroundings aren't just where you live, they're an extension of your inner world. A cluttered space reflects a cluttered mind. A clean, intentional space creates room for clear thinking and better opportunities. You've probably experienced this yourself. Think about how different you feel in a beautiful, open space compared to a messy, cramped one. That's the power of your environment at work, shaping how you feel and what you attract. Take a moment to consider this. What are you allowing into your space? This includes people, habits, even the thoughts you entertain. Every choice either adds to your alignment or pulls you away from it. Confucius taught that small corrections lead to significant change. It's not about overhauling your life overnight, but adjusting one thing at a time. A toxic relationship, an unnecessary possession, a harmful habit, removing just one of these can shift everything. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood aspects of attraction-action. We often think action means forcing things to happen, but the most effective action isn't forceful, it's deliberate. Confucius would say that doing the right thing at the wrong time is just as ineffective as doing nothing at all. Timing matters. There's a rhythm to life, and when you're in sync with it, action becomes effortless. It feels like the world is carrying you, not the other way around. Think about the last time you experienced flow, a moment when everything seemed to click. Maybe it was a conversation that lit up your mind, a project that felt like it was creating itself, or even a day when every green light lined up on your drive. Those moments aren't accidents. They're glimpses of what life looks like when you're aligned. The question is, how do you create more of those moments? Start by paying attention to what drains you and what energizes you. It's simple, but most people overlook it. Confucius believed that what you focus on grows. If you spend your time on things that deplete you, you'll feel stuck, no matter how much effort you put in. But if you give your energy to what lights you up, you'll attract more of it without even trying. Here's a practical shift you can make right now. Look at your schedule for the next week. How much of it is filled with things you truly want to do? If the answer is not much, it's time to make adjustments. This doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities, it means finding ways to bring more alignment into your daily life. Even small changes like taking 5 minutes to breathe before a stressful meeting or saying no to one unnecessary commitment can create a ripple effect. And let's not forget, alignment isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are. Confucius believed that integrity is magnetic. When your words, actions, and intentions all point in the same direction, you become a force. People trust you. Opportunities open up. It's not because you're lucky, it's because you've removed the contradictions within yourself. There's a powerful idea here: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is why self-awareness is crucial. If you want respect, are you respecting yourself? If you want abundance, are you operating from a mindset of scarcity? These are the questions that reveal the invisible forces shaping your reality. To finish this part, think about this. What if your entire life is already in motion toward what you want, but you're the one creating the resistance? What if everything you're chasing would come to you naturally if you just got out of your own way? In the final section, we'll explore the role of trust and surrender. You'll see why letting go is not the same as giving up, and how mastering this balance is the key to attracting everything you want without trying. Let's think about what happens when you hold on too tightly. Imagine gripping a handful of sand. The harder you squeeze, the more of it slips through your fingers. But if you relax your hand, the sand stays. This is how life works. When you cling to outcomes or try to control everything, you often push things further away. But when you release that need to control, things have space to flow toward you. Confucius believed deeply in the power of trust, not blind faith, but a trust grounded in the rhythms of life. He understood that everything in the universe has its own timing. Trying to force something before it's ready is like planting seeds and then digging them up to see if they've sprouted. You can't rush the process, but you can trust it. What does trust look like in everyday life? It means doing your part, taking action, being intentional, and then letting go of the need to micromanage the results. Think about a bow and arrow. Once you've aimed and released the arrow, your job is done. You don't chase after it to adjust its flight. You trust it will reach its target. The problem most of us face isn't that we don't aim, it's that we don't let go. We hold on to our fears, our doubts, our need for guarantees. But life doesn't work with guarantees. It works with trust and alignment. Confucius would often emphasize the concept of harmony. Harmony isn't just peace, it's a balance between effort and surrender. Picture a tightrope walker. They're not passive, they're actively adjusting, finding balance with each step. But they're also not rigid. If they were, they'd fall. It's this balance between effort and letting go that creates grace. Think about a goal you have right now. Maybe it's something you've been chasing for months or even years. Now, consider this as your attachment to that goal helping you, or is it creating tension? Attachment often disguises itself as motivation, but they're not the same. Motivation moves you forward. Attachment holds you back by making you afraid of failure. Confucius would say the solution lies in perspective. He taught that true wisdom comes from seeing things as they are, not as you wish them to be. If a goal isn't coming to fruition, it doesn't mean you're failing. It might mean the timing isn't right, or that the path you're on isn't the one meant for you. Trust allows you to adapt instead of clinging to a single outcome. Here's an idea to try. Instead of focusing on what you want, focus on who you're becoming in the process. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you aligning more closely with your values? These are the real markers of progress. The outcomes will take care of themselves when you focus on the person you're becoming. Let's talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to trust. It makes you believe that if you don't hold on tightly, everything will fall apart. But fear is also a liar. It convinces you that the worst-case scenario is inevitable, even when evidence says otherwise. Confucius taught that fear shrinks when you face it directly. He compared it to walking into a dark room. At first, the shadows seem menacing, but the moment you light a candle, you see that there's nothing to fear. In practical terms, this means acknowledging your fears without letting them control you. Write them down. Speak them out loud. You'll find they lose much of their power when exposed to the light of awareness. Now let's shift to something equally important: gratitude. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good practice, it's a signal to life that you're ready to receive more. Think about it this way: if someone gives you a gift and you barely acknowledge it, they're less likely to give you another. But if you show genuine appreciation, they're eager to offer more. The same principle applies to life. Gratitude keeps you aligned with abundance. Here's something simple you can do right now. Look around and find 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's the warmth of your morning coffee, the sound of laughter in the distance, or the fact that you're here, alive, with another chance to grow. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, and that shift is magnetic. Finally, let's address the most important part of this process, letting go. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing your attachment to how things must unfold. It's about trusting that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't. Confucius understood this deeply. He believed that trying to control everything is like swimming against the current. You exhaust yourself and get nowhere. But when you let go, when you trust the flow of the river, it carries you to places you couldn't have reached on your own. Think about the best things in your life. How many of them happened exactly as you planned? Probably not many. Life has a way of surprising us, sometimes with challenges, sometimes with blessings we couldn't have imagined. Trusting that process isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Here's a closing thought: you're not here to fight life. You're here to dance with it. Attraction isn't about pulling things toward you, it's about moving in harmony with what's already coming your way. When you let go of the need to control, when you align with who you truly are, life responds. Not because you've forced it to, but because you've invited it to. The question isn't whether you can attract what you want. The question is whether you're willing to trust the process enough to stop trying so hard. The answer has always been within you. It's not effort, it's alignment. It's not control, it's trust. And it's not about wanting, it's about being. Everything you want is already waiting for you. All you have to do is let go and let it find you.